Welcome back to Mock the Mock, where we take a look at someone else's mock draft. And I'm Mocky, giving you my views, thoughts, and opinions. Obviously got a big one in Mel Kiper Jr. as he's got his first round predictions. Can't wait to get into that. But what's crack-lacking is your boy Broshmo. Just in case you did not know so, go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content as always. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that nice, beautiful football discourse. I got a 7-round mock draft that was released just a few days ago, so go ahead, check that out. That took a ton of work, and show it the support it deserves. Let's go ahead and get into this sucker. As okay, he's gonna be using the ESPN Football Power Index to project the last 4 picks. So okay, let's get into it. I'm assuming no trades because he's got Chicago Bears staying at 1, so I assume this is a no trade mock draft. I thought long and hard about a trade here with the Colts, Raiders, and Panthers as top candidates to move up for a quarterback. And if I'm Chicago GM Ryan Poles, I can move down a few spots, add premium picks, still get my choice of the best defensive prospect here. So I'd make a deal. Okay, so he's just basically not doing trades here. They go Jalen Carter. I kind of feel like Jalen Carter is just the type of guy Matt Eberflus loves. It's kind of my opinion. I think would be a good fit, especially in a draft class that's so just stacked with pass rushers, knowing you could probably address that sometime on day 2. So I like the Jalen Carter pick. Let's go ahead and watch Bryce Young go to the Houston Texans. Oh no, they go CJ Stroud. Okay. I guess it is what it is. All right, so I assume it's probably because Bryce Young's size. Does he bring it up? So he says down here, Houston still has several needs, but it should start with Stroud. I have Stroud just barely behind Will Levis and Bryce Young in my rankings, but Stroud gets the nod here because of how he would fit. Okay. All right, I guess I'm cool with that. I feel like Stroud is kind of the high floor player here at the quarterback position. He's got prototypical size. He's got a good NFL arm. He doesn't have the same peaks and valleys, mainly valleys, as a guy like Will Levis. Doesn't have the size concerns of Bryce Young. If you feel like Stroud's a bit safer, then that's a-okay. Houston, regardless, this pick needs to be quarterback. Then we got Will Anderson going to the Arizona Cardinals. Kind of a no-brainer to me. Whoever the Bears don't take, if they don't trade down, whoever they don't take, you're taking, whether it's Jalen Carter, whether it's Will Anderson. It's a win for the Cardinals here. This is also probably going to be a popular trade down spot for those quarterback-hungry teams. But all in all, Arizona Cardinals, they got a lot of work to do on this team, and they're probably still going to be in a rebuild next year with Kyler Murray probably missing the first part of the year. So Will Anderson's a good part to start that. And then we got Bryce Young going to the Indianapolis Colts. Colts are taking a quarterback. They need to take a quarterback. Instead of this whole rent-a-quarterback bullcrap they've been doing the last few years since Andrew Luck decided to hang up the cleats, they go ahead, get your franchise guy in the draft here. So I like that. Now let's see. This is where the draft gets spicy. I don't know if it gets spicy in Mel Kiper's mock draft. I haven't looked at it yet. But typically with the Seahawks, this is where kind of the draft begins, so to speak. You typically by pick 5, you know Will Anderson, Jalen Carter off the board, and probably at least two of the top quarterback prospects are off the board. So let's see where the Seahawks go here. Oh no, Will Levis. Oh, quarterback. All right, so all quarterbacks are off the board. Sorry, Las Vegas. Sorry, Carolina. This probably means we're going to see Anthony Richardson in the top 10 here. I guarantee I bet you it's the Panthers. Panthers are going to take Anthony Richardson. All right. So Levis is going to be polarized in the next few months. No kidding. Turn on the tape and you see poor interceptions, questionable decisions. Yes, you do, Mel. But you're also going to see rockets that should have been caught in tight window throws that no other passer in this class can make. I mean, yes, he's capable of that. Yes, I do agree. My question is just moving forward with like the Seahawks. Like, I feel like Will Levis, we could start him now. This probably like, do you shop Geno if you take Will Levis? I kind of feel like you do. Like if you don't bring Geno back. Here we go. We get answers to this question right here. For the Seahawks, do they really think Geno Smith's their long-term answer? No, but you could still bring him back and I guess do this. But like I feel like you would do this with a guy with maybe the higher floor of an Anthony Richardson that you develop, where Geno could be there for the first year or two. So I kind of like that a little bit better. So if they franchise tag him, they could play him 2023 as a bridge to Levis, who can take over after some season as a backup, which, okay, I guess it's kind of the same principle. So it's all right, I guess. The Detroit Lions, like, I preferably would rather wait, see if there's a quarterback at pick 20 than with this pick. I'm just going to be upfront and honest. Detroit Lions take Tyree Wilson. I actually really like Tyree Wilson as an addition to the Lions, as this guy that can be an early down, I suppose, edge defender, and then kick inside on passing downs, as you got James Houston there as the pass that is very good at the passing down work. So I do like this. I do like this pick. I think we're going to probably see Tyree Wilson go high, especially if he tests out like he is expected to. Gojo, are you having nightmares, buddy? Here, wake up. Gojo, wake up. Wake up, Gojo. Gojo! He's like, geez, I'm sleeping. Leave me alone. Well, I can't have you sleep talking during the video, Gojo. Come on. All right, let's keep this sucker rolling. The Las Vegas Raiders take Peter Skoronski. I guess this makes sense. Gives you a versatile offensive lineman who will likely take the right tackle spot there. So I do like getting, like if you're the Raiders, I do like the idea of getting offensive line help. I don't mind it. Might not be sexy. I think I've kind of fallen in love with the Raiders taking a corner. Whether it's like Christian Rodriguez, not the Kentucky running back, Christian Gonzalez or Devon Witherspoon. Those are kind of like my two top guys. You get throw Joey Porter in the mix here as well. But I kind of like that option a bit better. But Skoronski's going to be one hell of a football player, so he's kind of like, I feel like I can't miss. The Atlanta Falcons, they get pass rush with my boy Myles Murphy. I absolutely love this pick. I really do. Myles Murphy, to me, is a top 10 prospect. A guy that'll have like the Travon Walker type of upside, or at least a type of testing. He's got a bit better production to his name than Travon Walker did. So I'm actually a huge fan of this. And then we got the Carolina Panthers. Oh my gosh, it's Anthony Richardson. Who could have saw it? Who could have called it? Yeah, the Panthers, you kind of feel like you have to go quarterback. Anthony Richardson is a bit of a lotto ticket. Like, you're kind of hoping you hit. Like, the upside is huge with a guy like Richardson. No one's going to deny that. So, like, I don't know if I would take him inside the top 10. I'm in that, like, maybe top 15 area. I start to maybe think about it. Definitely in the top 20 area. Start to think about it. Be like, hey, let's just go ahead and take a swing for the fences here. But, like, Carolina, if they miss out on the top 3 quarterbacks, like, Anthony Richardson's kind of like the obvious pick here. Like, this team needs a quarterback. They need something moving forward for the future. This is a team, honestly, I think Will Levis would be a great fit for, because this team has a lot in place already to be like playoff contenders. You add a few more playmakers, maybe another offensive lineman. Like, the defense is kind of there. You could probably add like a little bit in the way of pass rush, but there's a lot going on. There's a lot going for this team. So I imagine they make a move in the draft. All right. At number 10, we have the Philadelphia Eagles. And they're going, oh my gosh, they're going with Kalijah Kancey. This is the highest I have ever seen Kalijah Kancey in a mock draft. I don't think I've seen him as a round 1 guy, let alone top 10. How, Sway? How? Because the size is a huge concern. Okay, so Kancey's tape is extremely impressive. Agreed. That's why I have him as like a day 2 guy. And I moved him way up my big board. No kidding. He wreaked havoc the past 2 seasons, racking up 13.5 sacks when lined up at DT. In most, which is the most in the country at 6'2", 280. He's undersized, but so was former Pitt tackle Aaron Donald. To be clear, he's not Aaron Donald, but he's still pretty good. What didn't Aaron Donald go like 12th overall? Probably easily should have been a top 10 guy, but like, okay, obviously Mel isn't trying to put the whole, this guy is Aaron Donald. He's not putting that on Kancey. But you can't use it to justify him being picked top 10. Like, I guess I don't mind this pick at the back end of the first round. Like, I don't mind it at the back end of the first round. I think after, well, obviously I have Brian Brazee a bit higher, but I think after Carter and Brazee, there's this huge gap in talent. And however you have those guys ordered is fine. I feel like if you're the Eagles, you could still make this same pick at the back end of the first round. That's just my opinion. I don't know. Maybe Kancey kind of lights it up during the off-draft season process. But this is definitely a shock. Oh, man. My jimmies are rattled. All right, Paris Johnson going to Tennessee. All right, finally. Some normalcy here. The Tennessee Titans taking an offensive tackle. Who would have thought? Taylor Lewan. Obvious candidate to be a cap casualty. They need a left tackle. They could probably get one here at 11. Everyone's going to be mocking this until draft day. This Texans pick's interesting. Lucas Van Ness. I'm telling y'all, man, let's talk about Lucas Van Ness as a top 20 player. The dude's gonna test out well. He's extremely strong. Yeah, he needs to be. He needs a bit more polish to him. The hands aren't as precise as you'd like them to be, but it is a great way. It is definitely a great starting point for a potential edge rusher in the NFL. I like the Texans do need pass rush. They really don't have that. Their sack leader last year was Jerry Hughes, who's probably going to be 35, 36 next year. So yeah, they definitely need more help in that regard. With no corners off the board, I actually kind of like the idea of pairing up Derek Stingley with another top corner. I think that's kind of cool, but there's a lot of different routes the Texans could go, and I don't think any of them really are wrong. The New York Jets are going to be taking Jackson Smith-Njigba, first receiver off the board, by the way. So he's actually a really good fit if we're going to talk about him as like a run blocker. Garrett Wilson works on the outside. Elijah Moore honestly could work on the outside as well. He's got that flexibility. I don't think that'll necessarily be the case for Jackson Smith-Njigba, but I think if he in the NFL, we're probably going to see this guy working 60 to 65% from the slot. So, I mean, I don't think it's a bad option. I really don't. So I think there's a few different ways the Jets can go, whether it's offensive tackle. I've seen Osiris Torrance here. I'm not in love with that. Brian Branch is something I'm in love with. So just add it. Here we go with another one, dude. Jackson Smith-Njigba. I'm not against that. He's got to go to the right team. And honestly, a guy that's this good after the catch really fits the offensive scheme, then again, they did fire their OC, but I don't know if they're going to really move away from try and do things the Shanahan way necessarily. But I guess we'll see. All right. New England Patriots, Devon Witherspoon. This is the top corner off the board here, right? Will the Patriots bring back free agent Jonathan Jones? They didn't do it for Stephon Gilmore. So in this case, you're pairing Jack Jones, Marcus Jones up with Devon Witherspoon, and I actually really like that. I also like the idea of probably working, getting like a Brian Branch instead of Miles Bryant in the slot there. I think it's kind of whatever, either or. Like, I think this is a really good pick. The Patriots could go a variety of different ways. So, Devon Witherspoon being the top corner off the board, I think it's definitely one of the ways they can go. Green Bay Packers, Michael Mayer, Robert Tonyan is a free agent. Do we need to really talk much more about this pick? A lot of people kind of chalking Michael Mayer to the Packers here as they begin to project him. Dude. The Washington Commanders are going with Broderick Jones. Dang, I'm gonna blow my brains out real quick. Thank you for that. Samuel Cosby's your starting right tackle. I don't know why people want to move him into the inside. I'm cool with him on the outside. Charles Leno, I thought was all right this year. He's fine enough. You don't have to go with Broderick Jones here. Here's yet another team with an issue at quarterback. Gosh, give Sam Howell the shot, dude. No matter who's playing quarterback, though, they have to improve the offensive line, but it's really, they got a guard problem. That's the thing. Jones is a 310-pounder, blah, 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 blah. I wouldn't be shocked if he went in the top 10. Okay. Kind of is what it is. It's kind of whatever pick. If he's the top guy on your board, okay. It sounds like he probably is the top guy on Mel's board currently. We know corner's probably a big option here. Joey Porter, I feel like, would be a very good scheme fit for Jack Del Rio's defense. You could also make the case for Christian Gonzalez here. So, yeah. Oh, well, speaking of Joey Porter Jr., he's going to the Steelers here. Joey Porter going getting picked up by his former dad's squad. So, that's cool. I like the fit here from Mike Tomlin. I think it's a good get for the Steelers. Cam Sutton's a free agent. They need more talent at the corner position. Makes all the sense in the world. All right, the Detroit Lions are going Christian Gonzalez. So they're able to go get they grabbed Tyree Wilson. They get Christian Gonzalez. I personally don't think Christian Gonzalez is going to be available here at 18. I think the corners are going to go a lot higher than people anticipate. That's what happened last year. So I mean, I like the idea of Detroit grabbing a corner with one of their top two picks. So yeah, no, this is a good get. In theory, I just don't know if it'll be available here. Ooh, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We gotta talk. They go Keon White at 19 here. They made a similar pick in the beginning of the second round last year with Logan Hall out of Houston. Okay, and he addresses it. Okay, so I'm looking at the top end spot in Todd Bowles' 3-4 defense as their top need with Akeem Hicks and William Golston both hit the free agency market. Yes, second rounder Logan Hall will get snaps on one side next season. But if they can add a starter here, why not do it? Okay, so he's talking about him being probably a big riser here after the Senior Bowl. So this might be more of a projection pick. Like, hey, this guy's going to get a lot of talk after the Senior Bowl. Or he's getting a lot of talk going into the Senior Bowl. He's a guy that has a chance to really increase his stock. So I kind of view it as that. Corner. linebacker. Like you talk about, oh, we need to address a starting spot. Levante David's a free agent, my dude. Jameel Dean, Sean Murphy, Bunton, the guys you had start opposite of Carlton Davis are both free agents. I think those are more valuable than probably a 3-4 end. To some degree, I think they could probably bring back like a Golston or a Hicks on a decent deal. So, yeah. All right, Seattle Seahawks. They go with Byron Young, edge out of Tennessee. Ooh, this is interesting. So they did go with Will Levis with the first pick. Young is a bit of an older guy with very good physical tools. He was just very late to the game. Didn't start playing football until his first year in community college. I do like the idea of them at an edge. This feels a bit high for him. Maybe he's a guy that really emerges after the Senior Bowl week. I feel like Mel's trying to show off guys he thinks could look good at the Senior Bowl at this point. At this juncture. So, yeah. Yeah, what a draft. Let me know, Seattle fans. What do you think of this? What do you think of Will Levis and Byron Young? All right, pick 21. All right, we have Tuli. Oh, man, Tuipulotu going to the Chargers. Ooh, this is interesting. Basically, this is like, hey, Jerry Tillery was never good for us, so we released him. Let's try to find that penetrator we always wanted there on the defensive interior. I'm a big fan of Tuipulotu. He's a top 50 guy for me. But with so many wide receivers still on the board, like especially like I love Jordan Addison for this pick because I think they need that speedy threat to tear the top off of defenses. Justin Herbert was under 7 yards in terms of depth per target, which was near the bottom of the league. Like, come on, you got a guy with Herbert's arm talent. You want him to really be testing downfield a bit better. I think this would be a fun spot for Bijan. So I think there's just probably better areas to address here. Like, and the Chargers kind of need a big space eater in the middle. Like, I love Tuipulotu, but he's not that guy. Oh, Gojo, you having nightmares again. So, Baltimore Ravens, they get Quentin Johnson. He's finally off the board here. Remember, there's been all these reports that wide receiver could fall in the draft because they feel like they could get solid starters on day 2. So, wide receiver may fall. I don't know. We'll find out when it happens, but this is a good size. Like, you're pairing up Rashad Bateman with Quentin Johnston. You got Devin Duvernay there kind of working out of the slot. I mean, you grabbing Lamar receiving help. I think that's fine. I think Johnson's a guy that could definitely create after the catch. He's just hard to bring down because of his size. So, like, this is great value at this aspect of the draft. All right, Minnesota Vikings are going Emmanuel Forbes. So we're just crapping on Cam Smith and Keely Ringo. I guess that's fine. Corner is a need depending on who they bring in as DC. This could be a very good pick. They do have Cameron Dantzler back there. They have Andrew Booth. So just added more talent to the quarterback position. Patrick Peterson is a free agent. So, like, cornerback was obviously a big letdown this year. Outside of Patrick Peterson for the Vikings. So adding more cornerback depth, I think, goes a long way. Emmanuel Forbes is definitely a guy we could probably start talking about in the first round. Right, Jacksonville Jaguars are going Deontay Banks. Straight up, man. People are talking about Deontay Banks in the first round now. Like, the dude's a really good athlete. Like, he might not be my cup of tea. Because I question the effort sometimes. I question, I think he's overtly handsy. Was flagged a lot of times. Probably could have been flagged more. I think he was flagged 8 times last year. But then again, man, I'd rather teach someone who's overtly physical to be less physical than vice versa. Because you want that to be in their nature. You want that type of physicality. I feel like Darius Williams did a very good job playing on the outside at the end of the season next to Tyson Campbell, but cornerback depth's never a bad thing. So, yeah, I mean, to be fair, they took this risk with Tyson Campbell, and it's paid off. Not saying Banks is exactly like a apples to apples comparison, but it's pretty close. All right. The New York Giants take Jordan Addison. Probably every Giants fan favorite landing spot is Jordan Addison. Just getting more receiving help there for Derrick Jones, who inevitably is going to get signed some sort of extension. They will pair him up with a lot of speed there with Wandale. They saw good things from Hoggins this year. I think they still have Sterling Shepard too, but I believe they're probably going to address receiver probably multiple times in the draft. But this is a good spot for Addison. Dallas Cowboys take Bijan Robinson. Everyone and their mom thinks this is a good fit because we don't know where Bijan's going to go. I imagine he goes top 20 though, but I don't believe they're going to be able to bring back Tony Pollard. They would love to get off Zeke's contract. So like, you gotta imagine they do want to get off Zeke's contract eventually. But yeah, Bijan's actually a really good landing spot for the Cowboys. Buffalo Bills. Oh, I thought this was going to be Osiris Torrance. Instead, they take edge help. Derek Hall. I'm not this high on Derek Hall. I think he's a guy that needs to be schemed up a bit. But even though Buffalo has used first and second round picks on Gregory Rousseau, Boogie Basham, AJ Epinesa in the past 3 years, its depth at edge has to get better. That's why I see Hall. What do you mean it has to get better? You just listed off 3 guys who they also have Von Miller. 4 guys there at the edge position. They actually have one of the better, I think, rotations at edge. If anything, we should be talking about more depth in the back 7, whether it's linebacker, whether it's safety, whether it's corner. I think we need to be talking about those positions. They have, like he listed here, free agents here in Jordan Poyer, Tremaine Edmonds. Those are kind of big names there for the Buffalo Bills. Derek Hall is a guy that I think you have to work wide 9. Shoot, man. He's talking about Osiris Torrance here, who I think would be such a phenomenal pick because that offensive line needs work. It does. That offensive line consistently let down Josh Allen this year. So, all right. So a quick reminder here, the last 4 picks are based on projections from ESPN Football's Power Index. All right, so it's the Cincinnati Bengals. They get Dalton Kincaid. I actually really like this fit with Hayden Hurst as a free agent. They could very well bring back Hayden Hurst, and I think that's fine. But Dalton Kincaid, I'm a big fan of. I think he's one of the better receiving targets at the tight end position in this class. Do I feel like it was a bit early for him? Kind of, sort of, but he's inside my top 40, so I don't mind it. All right, we have the Denver Broncos going with Isaiah Foskey. Kind of a safe pick, safe floor player, a guy that has ideal length. Plays with good juice, good run defender, probably could use his length better and develop better pass rush moves. But I don't mind. This pick for Denver is so hard to project. Do they go tackle? Do they go, I guess, edge? Maybe defensive line? Maybe they go get a space here. Draymond Jones is a free agent. There's a variety of different ways they could go here. So, like, Foskey's kind of fine. Foskey would bring, what is that? Because it's a little too late in round 1 to find a sure offensive line starter. I mean, Osiris Torrance is still on the board. Anton Harrison. Darnell Wright. But okay. I like what Foskey could bring. He had 22 sacks and 5 forced fumbles the past 2 years at 265. He could play in a 3-4 or 4-3 scheme at the next level. I do agree with that. The Philadelphia Eagles go Brian Branch. I didn't realize he was still on the board. I actually love this pick. I think it's phenomenal. It'd be a phenomenal addition. I mean, they got They got Vontae Addix, who kind of works out of the slot there, who was pretty darn good. If they don't bring back CJ Gardner-Johnson, then I think just Brian Branch is phenomenal value at this point. He really is. Who did they grab? Oh, yeah, they got like Elijah Cansey. So, very interesting draft for Baltimore. And then the Kansas City Chiefs. This is something I've really liked doing the last few weeks with the Chiefs. It's Zay Flowers getting that speed. Juju's a free agent. That's not really pertaining to why. But Mecole Hardman, like getting a speedster. Like a speedster at receiver, not saying he is Tyreek, but getting that type of speed out there at wide receiver, I think Kansas City would love to have that. You could also make a case for really the defensive line here, and I think that's also a good option. But yeah, I did Zay Flowers this past week, and I was like, let's have fun. Let's have fun, and I think Zay Flowers, Josh Downs, those are my two Jahan Dotson guys. I feel like Zay Flowers is a bit closer, though, as a Jahan Dotson type. But we'll see. We'll see. He's going to be at the Shrine Bowl this week. But, you know, we've come to that time where that's it for the video. Go ahead, do the YouTube thing. Let me know what you think about Mel's draft in the comment section below. And as always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.